and welcome to reading vlog series. I've never done a reading vlog series before and I'm very, very excited. You will know, if you've been here for a while, how much I love the musical Six. She's even got a Six t-shirt on to highlight how much she loves the musical. If you don't know about Six the musical, it is a musical which celebrates the lives of the 6 wives of Henry VIII and goes into a slight bit of detail, basically the only detail I know, about these 6 women who are sort of known by the, well, definitely in the UK, known by the rhyme divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. But this, the musical, goes into more details about their lives. Now, I love that musical and I love the songs in it, and I want to know more about these wives. I'm very, very excited. So this vlog series is going to be me reading and sort of consuming stuff about those wives. The first wife is Katherine of Aragon, and I'm going to be reading 6 Tudor Queens, Katherine of Aragon, The True Queen by Alison Ware. Alison Ware has a whole series of books out called The 6 Tudor Queens, which is about, each book is about a different wife of Henry VIII. The first one is Katherine of Aragon. I'm very excited to read this and then subsequently the other books, but also I thought I'd make this more of a sort of celebration of how much I love the musical Six as well. So, in Six, the wives all have very specific looks, and Katherine of Aragon, probably my favourite look of all of 6, looks like this, insert here. And I thought, whilst reading the Katherine of Aragon book and regurgitating to you what I learned from this book, spoilers for history, I would dress and sort of theme myself on Katherine of Aragon. So as you can see, her hair is curly and pushed back and it has a wonderful headband in it. Now I've got myself this headband from Depop, and I think this is going to come in very handy for a few of the Queen's looks. Definitely Katherine of Aragon, probably Jane Seymour, probably Anna of Cleves, and maybe even Kathy Parr as well. So we're getting four wears out of this. So I'm going to curl my hair now and then put that headband on. And I'm also, because her sort of themed outfit is gold and black, wonderful combination of colours, I'm going to do some like goldy makeup as well, gold nails. And then so today I'm going to be wearing my Six t-shirt, but going forward, and I'll start curling because why not, I've got sort of like some clothes that I've pulled together that match the gold theme, things with puffy sleeves. Like, I'm excited about it. So I thought now, because I haven't started the book yet, I thought at the moment I would just tell you literally what I know about Katherine of Aragon, and then I'll see what more I learn from the rest of the book. So, Katherine of Aragon, the first of Henry VIII's wives, divorced. From the rhyme we know that she's divorced. I also know that she's divorced because he pushed her out because he wanted, oh that's a curl isn't it, he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn. More on that later I guess when I get to the Anne Boleyn book, or even at the end of the Katherine of Aragon book. She was married to him for 24 years and she was very, very into the church from what I've gathered from the musical Six. Also, before she married Henry VIII, she was married to his older brother. I don't know why they split up. I don't know why. Maybe he died. I think that's probably one of the only reasons you would be able to marry someone's brother. So I assume he died. I don't know what he died of. She also had one child, Mary. I don't know much about Mary at all. She had one child during that. I don't even know if Mary ended up being the Queen. Maybe she did. Maybe she did, because I know Elizabeth did. And she also had a number of stillbirths and miscarriages whilst she was pregnant. Anything else I know about her as an actual thing? I don't think there is. Oh, she's from Spain. I knew that. She was from Spain and she came over from Spain when she was very young, I assume, to marry Henry's brother. I think his name might be Arthur. When I say very young, I probably mean like early teenage years. That's the sort of gear they were into, weren't they? And yeah, I think that's all I know about her. And there we go. And her part in Six the musical, because each of the queens is based on a sort of pop princess, and Katherine of Aragon's song and look and sort of demeanour is based on Beyonce and Shakira. But yeah, I'm very excited. So let me finish this hair and then I'll do the makeup and I'll tell you what else I've sort of got planned to watch whilst this Katherine of Aragon fest is going on. I'm very excited. I haven't even started the book yet and I'm excited. Hey, curled. I haven't done anything with it or put the headband in yet. Or maybe I should put the headband in. I'm gonna sort of loosen these curls in a bit, but I like to curl them and then leave them to set. So that's that, and I've done my foundation and my eyebrows. So as I said, she's in sort of like black and gold. So I've got my Urban Decay Honey Naked palette. There's lots of lovely, I just love the names of these eyeshadows. Well, the one I'm probably going to use is called Honey. There's also one called Golden or Amber. I think I'm going to go for this one, which is literally like a yellowy sort of thing, and I'm just going to go wild on my eyelids with it. So yeah, as I said, there'll be other sort of Katherine of Aragon stuff that I'm going to be consuming during this time. There's a series which is on, I want to say Hulu, but I don't think I mean Hulu. Maybe I mean like something Star. Is there like a streaming service called that? Anyway, I haven't got that streaming service, but I can buy it on Amazon Prime, called The Spanish Princess, which is all about Katherine of Aragon. There's 2 series. I don't know if it's like a limited series and that's the end of it, but there's 2 series, and the first series is $7.99. So I'm going to treat myself to that and watch that. I may well even watch one this afternoon, because David's, that's very sort of golden, isn't it? David's going out with some work friends. I might put a bit of this golden under in the crease as well, because it is very yellowy golden. Yeah, so I'm going to watch that. Great news about that is that there's a whole series about Katherine of Aragon called The Spanish Princess. I looked at who was in it. Guys, you won't believe who's in it. Matthew Elwood, who is probably the most handsome man on television, who plays, well, no, Matthew Elwood is the name of the character in Call the Midwife, who plays sort of like Trixie's love interest. He's in this! So I'm going to watch that. I don't know if he's in like a big part or anything, but I just saw that his name was associated with it. So I'm well pumped about that. I've also got some golden, some glittery eyeliner. I want to wear normal black eyeliner as well, because there's quite the heavy focus on black and gold. I think I'm going to have to go and do that in the privacy of my own stand-up mirror, because I have to be very, very close to the mirror when I do eyeliner. I'll be back. That's that done. So yeah, put on my mascara now. Lash Princess by Essence, which is the cheapest, bestest mascara. The packaging is revolting, from Wilkinson's. Wilco's, I'm told it's called nowadays. So yeah, Spanish Princess I'm going to watch. A lot of people also recommended watching the Tudors series, but from what I can gather, and please do correct me, I mean, it's too late now, this vlog's gone out, I think that's a lot more around Anne Boleyn, so I might not start watching that until I start watching, until I start reading the second book in the series. And then there's a series on Channel 4 called The 8 Wives of Henry VIII, 6 Wives, you didn't have 8 wives, the 6 Wives of Henry VIII by Lucy Worsley, who is a historian. So I'm going to watch the episode of that as well. And then the 6th Queen of Katherine of Aragon is very much based, I may have already said this, on Beyonce and Shakira. So I'm going to listen to myself some Beyonce and Shakira. I used to love Beyonce back in the day, not so much Shakira, but up for listening to both of those. So yeah, I'll just finish off my makeup with I think with a darker lipstick with this, which is going to make this a very sort of wintry look. But I've got 2 here. One's called Glastonbury by Charlotte Tilbury, and the other one is very, very old. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be wearing it because it's that old. Black Widow from Topshop Makeup. And I mean, Topshop hasn't been open now, is it, for 2 years? So that's how long that is, and it says it's got 18 months on it. I actually think this is a bit too dark anyway. It almost makes it a bit Halloween-y, so I'm going to go with Glastonbury by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm terrible at putting and keeping. Oh, this is much purplier than I remember. I just eat off my lipsticks. So there we go. I'm ready. The only thing to do to keep my Katherine of Aragon look is just to loosen up my curls a bit. I'm quite pleased with that. I mean, for me, a fan of the show, there is no denying what, I went to move my glasses there, but I've got my glasses on. There's no denying who I am cosplaying here. But yeah, I guess the next thing is to get on with the book. Might go and do a bit of reading of that now. Well, there we go. I've read 2 chapters of Katherine of Aragon's life story. She was sent over from Spain on her 16th birthday to marry Prince Arthur, first son of King Henry VII, and when she arrives, she finds out that Prince Arthur, is very sickly. She received a portrait of him and he looked very young in that portrait. And she said he doesn't look much older. He's actually 1 year younger than her. She's also meets, in the first 2 chapters, Prince Henry, who will go on to be King Henry VIII, and he is 10, so he's 6 years younger than her. Very confident, very full of it, and she sort of is a bit charmed by him, if I'm being honest, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, this is a fictionalised version, but I don't know if this is exactly what happened. She is now married and it is now their wedding night, and weirdly Queen Elizabeth, who is Arthur's mother, has got her all ready and trussed up in bed ready to shag her son. So we've left it at that because it's just, she's got in bed and she's ready. Keep talking about her lovely waist length like golden red hair. Doesn't that sound lovely? Wouldn't it be lovely to have waist length golden red hair? And they're talking about the fashions that were the fashion in Spain and what's in England and how different everything is for her. Her English isn't the best at the moment, but she's obviously going to get there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's very, very, very readable, and just sort of like, yeah, and I appreciate, like, I'm not familiar with any sort of history. I did history up until the age of, at school, you either did history or geography for GCSE, and I picked geography. So what year would I have been then? Year 10, what's that? 14, 15. So I haven't done any history. And even then, I don't really remember much about King Henry VIII. I remember drawing a picture, because I think the war that King Henry VII won was called the War of the Roses, which is what this sort of like rose, Tudor rose that appears on a lot of stuff. I think it's only there. That happened after King Henry VII did that. So I remember drawing a lovely portrait of the War of the Roses, or King Henry on a little horse. I was never that good at drawing. But yeah, I'm really, really, really enjoying it. I'm off to my sister's now for dinner, so I need to stop. But yeah, I'll fill you in tomorrow. And I need to paint my nails gold tomorrow, and I'll be wearing a different Katherine of Aragon outfit. Headband's a bit painful. I always do suffer with headbands, but yeah. Really happy. Good Sunday morning to you all. How are you? I'm having a cup of tea. David's playing FIFA. How's FIFA going, David?
Nice.
I read yesterday 103 pages of Katherine of Aragon. And while I paint my nails gold, like Katherine of Aragon would want, I just thought I'd fill you in with what's been happening. So, Arthur's dead. He died of consumption, which I believe to be TB. And shortly after they got married, they'd only been married 5 months. Then there was talks about what to do with Catherine. She was hoping she'd be able to go home to Spain. That didn't happen. They then said, let's keep the marriage going. Why don't you marry Henry, who is 10. Henry can't marry her until he's 14, so they said, oh, we'll keep her hanging around until he's 14, and then we'll betroth them. That happened, but in the meantime, Elizabeth, who's Henry's mum, Elizabeth of York, I believe, and Catherine's mum, Isabella, they both died too. There's a lot of death going on. There's also been some drama with Catherine's dowry. Catherine brought with her some jewels and things like that for a dowry. Again, I don't know how much of this is historical fact. I'm going to take it as everything is. Catherine brought with her some jewels and a plate, which were part of the second part of her dowry. And she's now got to the point where they're withholding money to pay for her servants. So she's having to dip into these jewels to pay for them. Now, what she's found out is that her duenna, who is like her governess basically, has been trying to set up a marriage with Henry and another woman, and that's just come to light. That's literally come to light just as I found it. She sacked her and said, look, I'm just going to say I've sacked you because your eyes aren't working, rather than I've sacked you because you're a traitor. So yeah, lots been happening. She's also met Margaret Pole, who she became very enamoured with, who was the Chamberlain Richard Pole's wife. Richard Pole's dead too. Everyone's dying. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. It's really, really readable. The only other thing I will say is that, like I said, Henry at this point is, well, he's now 14 because they've just been betrothed to each other. She really fancies him, even at the age of 10. And and she sort of talks about how manly he is and what a king he's going to make and things like that, which I find very troubling, but I imagine was probably encouraged in those days. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and those are my gold nails. My nails are so short at the moment, so this is a good thing that I'm painting them. Off to the board game cafe today, and to go to some charity shops to buy some glassware for our upcoming nuptials. Speaking of Henry and Catherine getting married, David and I are getting married at the end of this year. So we need to buy some lovely, we're trying to get lots of different coloured glassware, like candlesticks and glasses and all sorts and things like that. So we're heading over to some charity shops to do that today. So I'm just waiting for the croissants to be ready. Then I'm going to get in the shower. Hoping to get another 100 pages of the old 6 Tudor Queens read today. Next page says, while Catherine had believed Dr. de Puebla when he revealed how the Manuels had used her, she could not accept that it was purely her reduced status that accounted for King Henry's treatment of her. Interesting. I've got my Katherine of Aragon outfit on for the day. It involves this puffy sleeve top, because her outfit is very puffy sleeved. I've got the same makeup and hair as yesterday. This necklace, which I borrowed from my friend Emma. In the musical, she wears lots of necklaces around her neck. And I used to own so many of these sort of like gold chain necklaces. Can't find any of them, obviously. And then the same earrings. I think these are from Primark years and years ago. Yeah, this is originally Topshop, but I bought it from Patreon. Depop many years ago. It's maternity, so it's lovely and big, but I've tucked it into this here pair of jeans from Tesco, high-waisted black jeans. So it's very much a black look with gold sort of accents today, but I definitely feel Katherine of Aragon-y. Yesterday when I went round to my sister's house, I had a jumper on so you couldn't see my 6 t-shirt, and she said to me, oh, you look like Katherine of Aragon. And that was just, so this is definitely giving Katherine of Aragon vibes. So we're off now. The only other thing is that it's quite cold in the board game cafe, and I don't have any gold or black jumpers, so I'm going to take like an orangey type jumper. Yeah, and I'm going to wear it with my black boots, which is what I'm going to wear with everyone, because they all wear black boots in the musical. Oh, David's singing. Anyway, better go. It's Sunday night. David's in the bath. Dinner's prepped, but not ready to go. We're having tofu tacos. Yum, 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 yum. And I thought, while David was in the bath, I'm going to watch the first episode of The Spanish Princess, which I'm well pumped for. You can buy the whole first series, I'm told, on Amazon, because it's on something called Stars, which I don't know how you get access to that. The Spanish Princess Season 1 for $7.99, I think, which I'd be up for. Let's have a look, Season 1. And I've just got to the point in the book. Buy Season 1 for $4.99. Bargain. Where it's Henry's 16th birthday. The King Henry VII, has been trying to keep them apart, and she can't really work out why. There's also a plan for King Henry to marry her sister Juana, who is still absolutely heartbroken over the death of her husband, and apparently carries him around in her coffin, embalmed, but she gets him out and has a little kiss and cuddle with him of an evening. So yeah, there's plans for him to marry Juana, who is Catherine's sister. He says he's aware of her sort of mental incapacities, maybe, that you might have if you're a woman carrying around the body of your dead husband, but he's just pleased that she'll be able to carry child. So yeah, he's very excited about that. So yeah, so I thought I would watch the first few episodes of this, because I'd like to read it and then watch it rather than watch it and then read it. And this is about, so I feel like I'm far enough ahead that I could watch an episode or two. It won't be 2 tonight, it will just be 1 tonight, but I definitely think I could watch an episode. And I've also just found out that Laura Carmichael, who plays Edith in Downton Abbey, plays Maggie Pole. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to watch the first episode, start playing. Let's see how I get on with it. I'm so excited. Come on then, play. David is showing quite a lot of legs, so he's covered it up. First episode watched. I enjoyed it. How did you watch the last half? Yeah. They've definitely sort of exaggerated some parts, and well, the character that Matthew Elwood plays, his name's not Matthew Elwood, I don't know what he's saying. Oh, Ollie Ricks is his name. I've not heard of him in this book so far. He's playing sort of like a steward almost, character, like taking people to different places and things like that. I haven't encountered him in this book yet. At the end, it briefly flashes up saying some historical names have been changed in order to fit the storyline. So that might happen. I enjoyed it. The costumes are great. The girl who plays Katherine of Aragon's great. The guy who plays Arthur is the voice of Josh in The Archers. I was like, I recognise that guy's voice. He's also been in Fleabag and Emma, the film with that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. She's literally, it ended on her wedding day to Arthur. So yeah, so I was concerned that I didn't want to read ahead of what I was doing, but there's no way that's going to be. Also, they've really changed the sort of storyline in terms of, so she talks about how she's been writing to Arthur and she really likes his letters and they've been a bit cheeky. And then Arthur's like, I haven't been writing you letters. Well, turns out it was Henry, who they also call Harry in this, which I haven't come across before. And also he has lovely red curly hair, is very hot, and is not 11, as is the case in there. He is, yeah, a handsome, dashing man. So there we go. So David's now watching The Masters. I find I can't really read when there's other stuff going on, but when I'm watching The Masters, or is this the highlights, David, or this is actually happening now?
Actual happening.
So it's quite good because it's not much talking. It's a lot of sort of like people just hitting shots in golf and stuff. So I'm able to read while that's on. So we can sit it together, David, even if you have got your little knee covered up. So yeah, I'll fill you in tomorrow, I guess, with how I'm getting on with the book. I've just realised I had a lovely Katherine of Aragon outfit on for work today, which included black trousers with a lovely gold trim on them and a leopard print top. Now, leopard print isn't strictly Katherine of Aragon, but I definitely reckon Katherine of Aragon would wear it. And yeah, I've got a bath and got changed and not filmed in it. So here we are. I have now read, where's the book? She's queen. Well, she's married to, yeah, she's queen. She's married to Henry VIII. She's miscarried her first child, sadly, which was a girl, and she is heavily pregnant with her second child. Should I write that down? And they've just moved to Richmond. Moving man, then I went at my palace in Richmond, etc. I'm really enjoying it. It's very, very readable, very page-turnery. Also, similarly, guys, I stayed up till gone midnight last night. Oh, hold on. I do have something Katherine of Aragon. I stayed up till gone midnight last night watching The Spanish Princess. There's 8 episodes in a series, and I believe it's just 2 series, and I'm now about to start episode 5 while David's in the bath and he's making dinner. Very much enjoying it. It's based on the Philippa Gregory books, The Constant Princess and something else. So, I mean, I'm only basing it on what I've read in this book, but this definitely it sort of embellished a lot of the characters around the Queen, the Princess, and Henry, who is called Harry in this, and giving them sort of backstories and things like that. I'm very much enjoying it. It's very well acted. It is acted, well acted. The costumes are great, and yeah, I'm so pleased I'm watching it alongside reading this as well, but I'm doing my best to keep them distanced because at this point in what I'm reading, the king has just announced that he's going to marry Katherine of Aragon, which, as in King Henry VII, which was an idea he had in this book but didn't follow through on, and he's just announced it at a banquet. So yes, going to watch it, going to watch another episode of that, and yeah, it's Monday. I reckon, I mean, I'm 192 pages in this. I'm going to probably read before I go to bed. I could have this done by the weekend. But yeah, very much enjoying it, and also very much enjoying The Spanish Princess. I've even got a little goblet like Henry VIII. Let's watch it. Episode 5. Oh, I've got David to turn my chair around so it's facing the little bay window, and I love it. That's falling down though, I don't love that much. Yes, it's really nice to bask in it. Just home from work. Well, I've been home about an hour. I've been doing chores, guys. Putting all the washing away, putting another load of washing away. Those sort of things, you know. Household maintenance. Is that no, like, it's not called household maintenance, just your day-to-day chores. Anyway, we are today on Wednesday. I am on page 338 of 6 Tudor Queens, Katherine of Aragon. I hope to finish this at the weekend. God, I'm really far down. Do you want to come down a bit more with me? Yeah. I hope to finish this weekend. Very much enjoying it. What I will say is it's not sort of like the most beautiful writing you've ever read or the most like developed characters. It's just sort of like getting the plot points out to you, because there's a lot of, it's history, so there's a lot sort of going on. At the moment I'm in a sort of in-between stage. So Henry has met Anne Boleyn. He doesn't seem that keen on her. He's spoken to her, so she's been taken back to Hever Castle, and he's sort of spoken to her in a bit sort of scathing terms to Catherine, saying, oh well, she's sort of like a bit headstrong and things like that. So, but I know that she comes back. She's actually come back now, and I think she sort of like turns his head then. Don't lose your head. But yeah, there's been a lot going on, a lot of sort of like wishing to fall pregnant, thinking she's pregnant, she's not pregnant, Catherine I'm talking about, and sadly miscarriages or children that don't live very long. But yeah, I've enjoyed the whole reading experience very much. I'm saying it like I finished it. I haven't finished it. I've still got, like, honestly, like just under a half really to read. So I've got myself a little cheese board with really stinky cheese, so I'm going to sit here and just read for a little bit. And yeah, also the Spanish Princess is going well. I'm on, I think I've only got 2 episodes left of season 1, which I've really enjoyed reading. Very different in terms of like elaboration. Well, I don't know, because this is probably an elaboration on what actually happened as well. So yeah, between them I can sort of get a general gist of what happened, but both of them with sort of exaggerations in the plot. But very much enjoying it. Not dressed like Katherine of Aragon today. All of my black clothes are in the wash, so that's what's washing now. So hopefully tomorrow I have a lovely little puff sleeve top on, or at the very least a roll neck, although it's lovely and warm. Who knows? Anyway, let's stop talking, start eating cheese. I'm still Katherine of Aragon. I'm still reading. Just getting the book now, gang. Katherine of Aragon. There's Katherine of Aragon's knickers on the radiator over there. I'm about 150 pages from the end. A little bit more than 150 pages. I had hoped, it's Thursday evening. I had hoped to get it finished today. I don't think I'm gonna. I might go and sit outside and read in the sunshine for a little bit today. I'm just pleased to be dressed like Katherine of Aragon, because I feel like the last few days I haven't dressed as Katherine of Aragon. Have had this top on before, but I've got a new skirt on which I bought secondhand on Depop. It's being sold again, guys. It hasn't, I'm not happy with it. It's originally from Topshop. It's this sort of gold, very gold in fact, velvet thing. It's a 16 in Topshop, which I always knew was going to be on the small side for me. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable in it. It's a bit tight. So yeah, I'm going to sell it again. I'm going to sell it again. So when I do a summer sale, which I probably will do, well, I need to sort my summer wardrobe out, I guess, don't I, if this weather's going to carry on being nice. Let me tell you what's going on in Katherine of Aragon's lives. She is something I didn't realise, and if I'm to go by the historical fact of this fictionalised version of Katherine of Aragon's life, is how long the sort of courtship of Anne Boleyn went on. Anne Boleyn was working as a lady-in-waiting for Katherine of Aragon when she caught Henry's eye. And yeah, it's been going on, so they're still not married. It's been going on about 6 years, basically. And I just feel so bad for Katherine of Aragon. She's just like, so, like, oh, he's going to want me back, and he's going to want me back, and she's trying to get all these people to prove that their wedding is true, because he's now saying that their wedding isn't legal because she's his brother's widow, and they've always maintained that she never consummated the relationship with, consummated the marriage with his brother before he died, and now he's saying, oh no, you definitely did, or like, and all the meanwhile visiting her, and she's doing the classic thing that I used to do, even when someone was treating you really badly, just carry on being really nice and fun. So they'll eventually forget about this new one and just think, oh no, actually I'll go back to my original one who was really fun. So yeah, I've been very much enjoying this. Like I say, super readable. I've been very much enjoying finding the facts out. So many characters. What I've been finding very, very helpful is they've got characters in order of performance from their first mention. Oh, what I didn't realise is names in italics indicate where the actual name is unknown. Father Jewett, Don Elvira's chaplain. And then they've also got, it's very, very well pulled together, a timeline of events. So I've been using that as well. That's how I worked out the timeline of what had been going on with Anne Boleyn. And then also a family tree, which I've been using as well. So yeah, lots of cousins, lots of people marrying their cousins and stuff. So it's been helpful to use that timeline. So yes, very much enjoying it. As I said, hoping, I'm not going to get it finished today. I might have a bath tonight and get a bit red. I'm not going to probably get it finished today, but hopefully I'll get it finished tomorrow. I'm really running out of black and gold things to wear. Think I'm going to have to wear a yellow jumpsuit tomorrow. Catherine wouldn't mind. Hello, I've been rearranging all my bookshelves for a video that's probably already gone up. But yeah, I thought I'd take a moment just to let you know how I'm getting on with Katherine of Aragon, because it's Good Friday now. I did hope that this would be finished yesterday. It hasn't been. I'm not even sure it's going to be finished today. David and I are going to the cinema to watch 2 films this evening. But I've got just over 100 pages left. We've just got to the point where Henry has just announced himself as the supreme head of the Church of England. So am I right in thinking that before Henry VIII announced himself as the head of the Church of England, everybody was Catholic and it was all sort of run from the Pope? Is that what's happening? Because he's just got fed up of waiting for the Pope to say that he can divorce Catherine. So he's just said, oh well, I'm going to be head of the Church of England now. Is that what happened? I'm dressed today, no black, but this counts as gold, doesn't it? This is the goldest thing I own. I've also got some gold pin badges in. The reason I've got these gold pin badges in is because these pockets had dried upwards, so I've had to put the pin badges in to keep those there. I've got my headband on, and these, I mean, it doesn't look too curly, but it's yesterday's curls, so yeah. Hopefully I'll get this done tomorrow. If I don't get it done, yeah, I'm not going to get it done today. So one more day of dressing like Katherine of Aragon tomorrow. What will I wear? Maybe my 6 t-shirt to celebrate the last day. I'm hoping it will be done tomorrow. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm not rushing it along or anything. But like, I have got other books to be reading. Guys, also, firstly, I'm not wearing a Katherine of Aragon outfit and I'm about to finish the Katherine of Aragon book. I did have a Six the Musical t-shirt on this morning, but we've done so much today. Boot fair to get some coloured glassware for our wedding later on this year, out for lunch, shopping, charity shop, done all the chores, and then after that got in the shower and now I'm in pyjamas. So believe me that I've been wearing the Katherine of Aragon outfit today. Well, at the very least a Six the Musical t-shirt. Now I've got 10 pages left of this. We know where it's going. I mean, it's set in we're currently in 1536, I think, 1536. She's gonna die. She's just had her 50th birthday, so she died at the age of 50. And she's very weak and sort of thin and frail now. It's not confirmed what she dies of, but I think she probably dies of cancer. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. This last sort of 100 pages, I feel like we've actually got to know Catherine a little bit, because before it's just been sort of like plot, 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 plot. What I will say has really annoyed me about her, and I mean, she's a woman of 1530s, let me tell you, but like, she will not have a bad word said against Henry. He has treated her like shit. We're currently at the point where he's thinking of fucking killing his own daughter so that Anne Boleyn's daughter can be the rightful heir. And she's just like, oh, God's will. So yeah, I've been a bit frustrated with that, but she's a woman of her time. But yeah, I guess let's finish it and see how I feel about the last 10 pages. I've got some nuts. Just go for it. And I'm done. I'm done with Katherine of Aragon. I think I'll quite miss her, you know. I'm actually going to watch the 2nd series of The Spanish Princess. Probably before I start the Anne Boleyn book. So yeah, I'm not completely done with Katherine of Aragon, but I'm done with reading about her. Yeah, I'm really pleased I did this. I learned a lot. I mean, obviously this is a fictionalised version of her life, but I think like the research has been done, so I'm very pleased with it. What I will say, like I said earlier, the first half, or even the first 2/3 are very sort of, because there's so much happening, it's almost, it's literally like plot, 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 plot. And like I said, you don't really get much sort of development into Catherine and what she's actually like, because there's so much sort of happening to her in the first 2/3 of the book. I'm very interested. So this is the first one. I'm very interested to get onto Anne Boleyn, the second one. This is called Katherine of Aragon, the True Queen. Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession, because Anne Boleyn does not come off well in this book. She's very much a sort of puppet master of the king. She has him doing her bidding and things like that. So I'm interested to hear what it's like from her point of view. What I almost wish I was starting it straight away, but I've got other books that I need to read in between. So I'll probably start it early May. And then I can start dressing like Anne Boleyn, little space buns and green nail varnish and all sorts. yeah, so I'm interested to find out what the sort of like overlap is. So you meet Anne Boleyn and Jane Seymour in this book, so I'm interested to find out what the overlap is in terms of queens for there, and also hearing about Anne's perspective on Catherine. Also, Catherine lived, as I said, to the age of 50, so these 595 pages are of quite the span of time. Because Anne Boleyn did not die of natural causes, she died of being beheaded. I imagine this probably goes into a little bit more detail about her life, because it's as long, I assume. They're all pretty much roughly this size. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I really am. I really am. And finding out what happens with Anne Boleyn. But yeah, had a lovely time reading this. Would highly recommend it. Like I said, it's not going to win any prizes for the most beautiful or flowery of writing, but I very much enjoyed like the sort of plot points being got across, and like I really enjoyed sort of chatting about it with you guys, and also chatting about it with David as it went on. David and I went to the cinema last night. We went for a Nando's beforehand, and I was sort of like telling him everything that had happened. So yeah, highly recommend. So yeah, I guess next time I'll see ya for Anne Boleyn. I wish I was starting it now, but I'm not. But yeah, see you then. Bye!